In this episode of Silver Spoon, I take you to Karigari, the newly opened restaurant. It's a brainchild of Chef Harpal Singh Sokhi. Chef Sokhi doesn't need any introduction. He's a familiar face from the television. But even if you want me to jog your memory, there's another clue. Yeah, he's your favorite, the Namak Shamak guy, Chef Harpal Singh Sokhi. Tell me about Namak Shamak. You've done so much after that. Like you have done reality shows, you're a familiar face on TV.
Yes.
But the Namak Shamak stuck, right? That
The
title.
tagline, yes.
So how do you react?
So it's something which I think it's a brilliant thing that has happened to me in my life. Very few people get such kind of taglines which they are known by. People don't remember me by name, but they remember
the
me
Namak
by
Shamak guy.
the Namak Shamak guy. So that is one identity which I created, and the other identity is the turbans that I wear, which are
colorful.
Yes. So Namak Shamak happened happened in such a way that I think somebody pushed me hard in saying that his name was Girish Madhu. He was the director of my show Turban Tadka.
Okay.
So when we were practicing our television show, how it should be shot and what should happen, he just put into me. He said, "Harpal, I want to ask you a question. Tell me, how would you like to be remembered long after you're gone?" And I was like, how do I know that? People should remember me when I'm alive. No, he said, no. The real crux is that people should remember you long after you're gone. And tell me how you want that to happen, and only then I'll shoot. I was like, I don't know really, how that's going to happen. He said, no, then let's stop the practice session.
Yeah.
You go home, you mull over it, find a solution and come back to me. And he stops the shooting and he goes back. And I like, what is this? I go back home. I tell my younger daughter Antara that this is how happened. This is what happened, and it's such a stupid thing to know. People should remember you when you are alive, and how the hell you are going to look back when you are dead. I said, okay, now he's put a question. I don't know what to do. I said, she also said, I don't know what to do. Then she was reading a book on Mahatma. I just picked up the book, I opened a chapter and I started slowly reading. I was bad at reading books, fiction books then, but now I love reading fiction books and management lesson books and books that teach you entrepreneurial skill. Those all books now I have a good selection and collection of the same. I start reading the book, I open a chapter and the chapter that opens up is Satyagraha, and I realized that Mahatma Gandhi started our freedom fighting struggle with taking salt as the main element. And he started the salt satyagraha. And that's where the real freedom started. Freedom struggle started long back. This was the moment which actually took the Britishers by storm. I realized such a simple thing that Mahatma Gandhi has taken up, and we are all looking at bigger things. The simpler things are most difficult things, And I connected that with food, and I realized that, in food there could be many elements, but the right amount of salt, if it is not there, all the other elements are dead.
Yes.
Salt is something that lifts everything else on this. It's like now I give management examples on this, that salt is equivalent to a man who lifts up the entire society, through his vision, through his acts, through everything. So salt actually lifts up the taste in the food, which is why you say that, wow, I am enjoying the food.
Yes.
And that's how I realized that I, being a Punjabi, we have this, way of putting up things that, chai pi lete hain, lassi pi lete hain. So I said, Namak Shamak, ye karenge. Namak Shamak came into my mind, and I go back and tell Girish after 5-6 days that Girish, I found the, the rhythm that you're looking for, the catchword that you're looking for. He said, what? I said, when we put salt, I will do Namak Shamak dal dete. He then said, now put this into a rhythm and a rhyme. Then I started doing Namak Shamak, डाल देते हैं. And then it started building up so big that I had this rhythm. People would wait for me to do it when I was cooking. Okay, they were least bothered what recipe I was cooking. But the moment I would do this, everybody would be like, happy in like what I do now on television, Laughter Chef.
Yeah.
Then it was Namak Shamak that happened. And then from Namak Shamak came the salt ka pitara, the energy ka pitara, and I would catch that. And people used to go crazy about that. And I would hear back from people, how they would sing in their dining tables, in the family, while cooking. It was more an enjoyment that was given to women folk who were cooking alone, mostly in India during afternoons. They had no entertainment as such for them. So it also became a catchphrase and an entertainment catchphrase for all the women folk who cook alone at home.
So now we know it's very profound actually.
Yes, absolutely.
So coming to the menu of Karigari, I heard so much about your butter chicken, which is different.
Yes.
So can you tell me about it?
Yes. So, our menu is all about storytelling. So we always say that we are a storytelling restaurant, and somewhere we keep living up to it. So, we have a story of dal, we have a story of dishes, and then for Chandigarh especially, we have created a story of butter chicken.
Okay.
So people have the regular butter chicken, which is there in all the restaurants, the same kind of restaurant, same kind of butter chicken. We also give with red tomatoes. We have a white butter chicken. We call it lemongrass butter chicken.
Okay.
Now that happened because once upon a time, 5-6 years back or a little earlier, the rate of tomatoes had gone up. And it had gone up to 310 or 280, something like that. So that's the time I shot for a news channel where I said that, okay, let's do a lemongrass butter chicken with no tomatoes in it.
Okay.
So we did that. And then recently I had a podcast done with Farah Khan, and when she came home, and I said that, okay, what as a Punjabi I should do for her, Just struck me, okay, let's do butter chicken in a different avatar. So we did butter chicken with green tomatoes, with a little pesto on top, little burnt garlic on top, crushed black pepper on top.
Okay.
So the basic principle of cooking a butter chicken with some international ingredients as flavors that change the entire dish. And mind you, the way it is done is so profound that, first you do the butter chicken, you taste the butter chicken, you'll say, okay, it's nice. The moment you add pesto, it takes you to the next level.
Okay.
The moment you add crushed pepper, it takes you to the third level. The moment you add burnt garlic, it takes you to the final level. And that's how the dish evolved.
Okay.
And the moment I got this endorsed by Farah Khan that this is the far best dish she has tasted ever, she took a bowl full back home for her children, and the children enjoyed it so much that she called me back in the evening that, Harpal, I have not seen my children eat with their hearts out, and this is something which is so amazing. So I decided that, okay, I'm opening my restaurant in Chandigarh, and this is where the first this dish enters there in the menu card.
So this is available only in Chandigarh branch?
Right now, only in Chandigarh.
Great.
And it will travel back to all the restaurants from here now.
Okay, wonderful.
So, like it's a story complete, so everything has a story, so this one has a story too.
So what are you going to cook for our viewers today?
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a simple pav bhaji, okay, which is also very different, the traditional pav bhaji of Mumbai.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how simple it is to cook, but we have a different way of presenting it, which is very nice, very, very unique. I'll showcase that to you.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have a very unique thing for Chandigarh also, like you see, because Punjab
bread.
is the wheat capital of the country.
Yeah.
And we said that because people love eating wheat in various forms,
Right.
so for the first time we are doing a bread bar. People have bar, but we have a bread bar where we do breads, which we have been doing in our regular restaurants, but here we are doing open kulchas, open pizza kulchas, which is cooked in the pizza oven, and typically Indian flavored, but they look like a leavened pizza.
Okay.
So we have introduced about 20 breads,
So how much of fusion and how much of tradition that goes into the
So
food?
it is very well balanced that there are some recipes which are absolutely traditional, which
Okay.
we don't,
Tamper with
fidget
it.
around with. It is the way it is done, straight, clean, neat, simple.
Yeah.
And then there are recipes which are quirky in our format. Okay, where like the Parmesan chicken tikka.
Right.
Okay, a little bit of Parmesan on top, like the green garlic butter chicken, green tomato butter chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little fusion there, okay, with the addition the traditional butter chicken with a pesto topping. So just using the principle of flavors and ingredients and matching them to give a unique taste
Okay.
in different recipes. That's what is there. So if you were to look at what kind of percentage is there in terms of usage of ingredients and flavors which are international, I would say we are about 50-60% traditional and 40% in terms of quirky things where people love it. People love that.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So the principle of cooking is what has to be remembered as a chef. That's what is key. Nowadays, most new age chefs who are also Michelin starred, they want to know that okay, this is the flavor and this is the traditional recipe. Nowadays what is very traditional is that people who are Michelin star chefs also, they want to understand ingredients, principles of cooking an authentic dish, but use their own mindset to create that
Recreate the whole
dish.
thing.
Yes.
Right.
So it is looking at the authentic dish, recreating the original dish in their version.
Okay.
And that's what is important, and that's how things are evolving. So similarly, the pav bhaji that I have is a dish that is traditionally Mumbai based.
Yeah.
And I am Mumbai based, so I understand what a pav bhaji flavor is. Okay, so you have a great tomato flavored pav bhaji.
Okay.
And we have a ring pav which we have done, which is very special here. Okay, and the pav bhaji being typically pav bhaji, the essence of a pav bhaji is that it should be tomato flavor, full of butter. Okay, and there are key features that when you make the pav bhaji masala, it should be having flavors of clove, little bit of garlic. Okay, that's what is important.
Okay.
And that's how the finished pav bhaji should be like, not what we see in North India generally. In North India, pav bhaji means lot of vegetables. Generally, it is yellow in color, not the way the creators who have created in Bombay. Okay, Sardar Pav Bhaji and all those Pav Bhaji walas and in across Mumbai. So they add tomatoes in large quantity.
Okay.
Then cauliflower, capsicum, little bit of potatoes, a lot of potatoes, and the traditional pav bhaji masala.
Right.
That makes the pav bhaji complete.
Okay.
So
how we are going to do it?
So I'll just show you how we do it here. We have the pav bhaji as you see here.
Yeah.
It is the essential flavors of a pav bhaji. Like I mentioned, it is butter, flavor of tomatoes. The color should be bright red, and that is what we maintain very well here.
And what all goes into it?
So here you have to have a tomato puree paste, potatoes, capsicum, okay, chopped capsicum green, cauliflower, okay, some red chili powder and pav bhaji masala. That is essential here. Pav bhaji masala is very typical and we make it very well here.
That's our secret masala?
Yes. That's the secret masala, and essentially a pav bhaji masala has great flavor of cloves. That's very important.
Okay, that's a dominant.
Yes, that is dominant flavor, and it should not be very thick. Okay.
Okay. So how long the whole process takes?
So cooking a pav bhaji actually at home does not take too much time.
Okay.
Honestly, it's the prep that you need to do. You need to have boiled cauliflower, you need to have boiled potatoes, you need to have tomato puree, chopped capsicum, chopped onion. Okay. One very important thing as a Bombay guy, I know that every Bombay pav bhaji wala stall has one combination. So they grind garlic and chilies together.
Okay.
That is essential. That is the key.
So how does it help?
So what you do is you make a paste of garlic and chilies and you grind them together.
Right.
And the first thing that goes in that, the thing after oil is that paste,
Okay.
onions, capsicum, and all the other stuff
Goes
there.
for
Yes.
this. So aren't you going to put namak shamak?
Yes, yes, we'll put namak shamak, the salt, and we can always do the way it is done. Namak shamak, dal dete hain. And whenever I add salt,
Yeah.
people think that I am adding excess salt. Like I always mention that salt, the right amount of salt is important,
Right.
and that's what I do.
So even when you are singing,
Yes.
you are focused.
Yes, I'm very focused. You need to be very clear when you are doing such things, that the amount of salt and the amount of required salt is important. Everybody thinks that, oh chef, you're adding excess salt. No, we don't do that. We just
Right.
add the right kind of salt, and you see this consistency here.
Yeah.
That is what is important.
So our pav
And
bhaji is ready.
Pav bhaji is ready.
Okay.
And next, very important thing, the way Bombay people make it. Okay, you need to know this. This is very important. So no pav bhaji is complete without making the paos the way it is done in Bombay.
Okay.
Okay, and this is very important. So here in Chandigarh, we have evolved the pav bhaji further by saying that we are doing ring paos.
Okay.
Okay, small paos in the form of a ring that we have. It's like a crown pav bhaji. Okay, little bit of chilies in this,
Chilies.
and again little bit of namak shamak, dal dete hain. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Now, what Bombay guys do is,
Yeah.
once they have made this mixture, they take the pav and smear the pav and the masala in here. So now the pav is glazed well, you see.
Right. It looks
Yes, it looks yum.
yum. Yeah.
Okay, it's got that flavor now. And now this goes off. Here's how we present it. Okay, slide the ring pav in here. Put the pav bhaji in here. Okay, now this is very important.
This is cheese sauce.
Okay, the cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Now, this is ready. My pav bhaji fondue is ready. This is how we serve a pav bhaji. And these are little differentiators. You see,
This is your take.
this is not served anywhere in the country the way we do it. So people
Wonderful.
just bite, lick, smear the cheese and the
Cheese.
pav bhaji and enjoy the pav bhaji. And that's how you enjoy the pav bhaji. So in our open kulcha, the
Yeah.
basic principle is we have this leavened bread. We half cook the bread, take it
Okay.
out. It becomes like a bowl.
Yeah.
You put the chicken, the makhni sauce, the onion, cheese,
cheese.
etc. Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, the fragrance, which is totally Indian. Okay, and nothing that is not Indian is what we put. Again, some cheese on it,
Right.
because I believe Punjab loves
Cheese.
cheese. The makhni sauce again on top. We are ready.
And
Put
it
this
goes-
inside. Yeah, there it goes inside. Come, have a seat. Look at that. Wow.
So how long it stays
Just
there?
4 to 6 minutes. That's it.
Okay.
It's ready. The moment you give the order, it is ready here.
Wow.
And you'll see how beautiful it is. I mean, how beautiful. I love this thing that we have created just for
So
Chandigarh.
which one is your favorite dish?
So I like this open kulcha, and it's a meal in itself, and it's a brilliant thing we have created for Punjab.
Wow.
People are going to love it. You'll see how fast it gets ready, Butter brush.
So, chef, you lived in so many places.
Yes.
You learned, so many cultures. I mean, which culture really inspired you to
I
be what
think
you are?
in India, I think I think what's important in India is that we are such a beautiful country with so many cultures, and we learn so much from each culture. Every time I travel to a new state, the first thing is I keep walking across, the streets, understand the food, and the food defines the culture of people. It's such a beautiful thing that we see. And every state has its own unique thing, so there's no definition as such that this culture is the best or this is the best. I think that's what defines India, that you must cherish the Indianness by moving across in various states and enjoying the food and meeting people, and that's how you love India, and that's how I decide my menus. And every chef, I tell you this,
Yeah.
loves exploring street food,
Yes.
which gives them the best ideas. The best ideas are derived out of street foods, and from there we evolve those dishes into a five-star, food culture.
Right.
This is a pure Neapolitan pizza. But we thought that Punjab is a place which experiments with food, and they are open to experimenting food in any form.
Yes.
That's why the Indian food that we see internationally
Yeah.
is Punjabi food.
Exactly.
Because we Punjabis, okay, butter chicken, no problem. Put pesto sauce, no problem. Put this, no problem. Put that, no problem. But there, one thing is very important, and that is across the country, I would say, put whatever. The taste is paramount. वो उसको पंजाबी बोलते हैं, खाने में मजा आना चाहिए भाई.
Right.
Here you see. Now this is my
Wow.
this is my bread, which is raw, rustic. The way it is, sprinkled with herbs. Wow, look at this. And I am not ashamed of saying that it goes like this with cheese sauce, with dhania, the way the bread is.
Yes.
This is my own definition of serving this beautiful bread. People they're just enjoying this.
Well, I'm dying to taste.
Yes, we'll have a taste of this.
Yes.
Hot kulcha, you'll enjoy this.
Right.
Have a seat, I'm going to bring this along with you. So this is what is the most important, dish. These are differentiators, and I think any restaurant, if a person wants to run, and the difference between an ordinary restaurant and the ones that are chef driven is that you need to have USPs when you are building your restaurant.
Yes.
So we have built a USP in the form of the kulcha, the differentiator as a
It's
pav bhaji.
rustic, yet
Yes,
very-
it's very rustic. Okay,
Yeah.
the way probably you would get in an Italian roadside.
Yeah.
And I was recently on a road trip in Italy, and I found that their pizzas are absolutely rustic. Okay, they don't have definition that the pizza should be a triangle or a
Yeah,
proper.
I know.
They
That
just
is
roll it
really-
up
yeah.
like a roll we do in Punjab or across India, and they roll it up and have it.
Yeah.
For them, that is their traditional home meal,
Actually, yeah.
and that stock, that thought stuck in me, and we created this.
Wonderful. So here,
Yes, yeah.
you're supposed to eat like this.
Yeah, you can fold it the way it is.
Total yum.
Huh?
very good.
It is giving you that. It is not shifting the Indian flavor,
Exactly.
but yet you are getting a different.
I
So that's
know.
what we did.
The,
So
the
we
cheese
say that
and
yes,
the dhania
yes,
also went.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be surprised. पिज्जे के ऊपर धनिया डाल दिया भाई हमने डाला
क्या
हमने
हुआ?
हाँ तो क्या हुआ हमने डाला तो क्या हुआ
The
पाव भाजी.
pav bhaji. Sure.
So typically take a pav,
Wow.
okay, crack it up, and then
Yes.
there you go.
It's so different from what I have
Yes.
eaten in North India.
So in North India, it is generally with lot of dhania powder and haldi, and they make it little yellowish, more vegetables. We are not like that.
Yeah. It just has 2-3 ingredients.
Yes, the top-notch flavor is butter,
Yeah.
okay, a little spice, and the tomato.
So here, this is for the ultimate destination for fusion food
Yes.
with a very traditional route.
What the green tomato butter chicken is like, okay?
Okay.
Made from green tomatoes and lot of other secret ingredients here.
You're not going to share,
for
right?
doing it for the first time
You're not
in
going to share
Chandigarh.
with
No,
us?
I'm not going to share this. Okay,
I tried.
And this is a beautiful naan.
Yeah.
We created this because small children when they come. Now that we have introduced something which is looking like a pizza also
right.
in the form of open kulcha.
Yeah.
But when I didn't have that in my other restaurants, I had this. So this is a typical goat cheese naan with charcoal, okay, activated charcoal.
It looks like extraterrestrial.
Yes,
if you
yes,
don't mind
yes,
saying
it looks like that.
Yeah.
And it is such a beautiful thing that I will give you this bite.
Yeah.
You just have this bite. You are going to enjoy it just like this, without anything. You get a nice,
Yeah, it has.
yeah.
It's complete.
It's own thing. It's a
Yeah.
complete meal in itself.
Actually.
And we created this only for kids, and people who are Gen Alpha and Gen Z. They want, okay, let's have a pizza flavor incorporated. So I keep hearing from people what is that they are looking for.
Okay.
And I start implementing them in my menu style. And that's how I style my menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you keep hearing, okay, this Gen Z guys are
And
looking for.
what goes into this?
So when I created this dish, I actually made with the normal naan with some activated charcoal. But I got the opportunity to go to Hong Kong. And behind the restaurant that I was consulting, there was a good bakery. And my manager took me behind and he said, Harpal Chef, this guy is my friend and he does great black bread.
Okay.
And that excited me. I said, how does he? So I went to his bakery and I asked him, how do you make it black? He said he uses black sesame seeds and he grinds them. That enhances the calcium value.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right,
So
right.
I then reduced my activated charcoal content and increased the black sesame in this.
Okay.
So that's how it became more popular with guests.
Now let me see if I can feel that.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the way you learn from people, how they
Different
incorporate,
culture,
what they
yeah.
do, and things like that.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Chef.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you.